Your trading plan isn't the problem, bro. It's probably you. I remember when I first started trading, how I approached it was I spent maybe like a month or two learning, and then I spent 3 months demo trading. And on the first month, I made like 5 or 6%. So now I'm thinking, all right, like it's so easy. This is sick. Second month, I made maybe like 4 or 5%. So I'm like, all right, a little less, but still good. And then on the third month, I lost like 2 or 3%. Now, in hindsight, this is like completely normal, right? But then my like dumbass brain was thinking like, oh, like it just lost money. The strategy doesn't work. Like the strategy's bomb cheeks. It doesn't work, so I'm gonna change it. And if you're anything like me, which you probably are if you're new to this, then your dumbass is probably thinking the same way, right? You'll have a strategy and then you go on TikTok and then you stumble across a live and you see someone else trading something slightly different and it's working for them. So then you're like, all right, I'll implement it. I'll start trying it out, and it probably starts working for you as well until it doesn't. And then you switch for the next thing. You look for the next thing. Maybe this time you stumble across like a YouTube video or something, and you adopt their strategy and it works for a bit, and then it just goes to shit and it stops working. So you're constantly looking for this like golden rule, right? Like this perfect golden formula that always prints you money and every month is profitable and you have no losing months. But the real golden rule or the golden principle or whatever you want to call it is that there is no perfect strategy and that your strategy isn't the problem, it's you. So instead of changing your strategy again and again and adopting new strategies and going kind of in like this big cycle of winning with your strategy, then losing a bunch, then changing a strategy, and then winning again, and then losing a bunch, and then changing it again and again, and entering like this fat, vicious cycle. Instead of doing that, just master your one strategy, master it across one pair or two pairs, however many you want. Just master that one strategy. And if you want, maybe you can start refining it. So find out what in specific in your strategy works, at what time does it work, blah, blah, blah. Master it and refine it, right? And also make sure that it aligns with your personal, like your personal ideologies or whatever, right? Like for me, I know I don't want to be in the market for too long. So I only trade during London session, and I know that I live in Australia, so the time zones are fried, right? So I know that I value my sleep quite a lot. So I know that I'm not going to stay awake for London session, for New York session. So I do everything in London session. So do the same thing for yourself. See what time works for you. If you prefer short RR, long RR, whatever you want, right? Make it suited to your personality and just do not change it, right? So if you are in this like cycle of changing it over and over again, maybe a little experiment that you can do to like kind of get it across your P brain, right, is to just get a coin and flip it like 100, 200, 3, 4, 500 times until the sample size is large enough so it's 50% heads and 50% tails. And just label one wins. So like just label your heads as wins and your tails as losses, and keep flipping the coin, and record how many heads you get or how many winners you get, and then how many losses you get or how many tails you get. And you'll probably find that you'll probably get like 5, 6, 7, 8 tails in a row. And that's just a 50% chance, right? So in trading terms, this would be a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, right? Your winner would be your head and then your loser would be your tail. And that's 50-50, usually, if it's a random walk. And even in that scenario, if it's 50-50, you can still lose up to 7, 8, 9 times. And just honestly think to yourself, if that happened to you, if you're a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio and you lose 7, 8, 9 times, what is your dumb ass gonna do? It's gonna enter this cycle. It's gonna keep changing it. Little do you know, like you need to go through those losses to then act on your edge to get all your wins, right? Like you need to go through that period of losses for across a large enough sample size, those periods of losses will happen. And if they happen to you, your dumbass is probably going to change the strategy, but you just got to stick to it, bro. Like, don't change it, just stick to it.